This is a short didactic video showing the preloaded mechanism features and the procedural steps for the deployment of the E-nside endograft recorded during a mock deployment in a transparent silicone model. After unboxing, the graft comes with the classical user delivery system design, with an addition at the proximal end, where we have the preloaded mechanism control. An aortic sketch indicates here the correspondence for each channel with the proper inner branch. The handle has the classic squeeze to release aortic functioning with a tactile marker helping for orientation. Implanting procedure begins with endograft advancement up to intended deployment position. This should be checked comparing the inner branches markers with the corresponding target vessel height. These highlighted after shooting an angio or using the fusion technology where available. At this point, the orientation should be checked, mostly aligning of the position of the ventral marker at the cranial end of the graft. Then the handle can be shifted to drive mode and the graft initially deployed using the orange level. Notice here, after initial partial deployment, at this moment, how the E markers are being repositioned at the very center of the anterior-posterior projection. After having released the first couple of stents, it is very important to check again and eventually correct the device orientation and the distance for each inner branch outlet to its target vessel origin, since at this point position adjustments are still possible. When position is confirmed though, deployment sequence can go on, and it can be seen through the transparent model in the meanwhile how once the inner branch outlet are being sheathed, the preloaded catheters passing from outside caudal to inside cranial for each inner branch become visible. Finally, the graft deployment is completed and the capture tip mechanism can be released, rotating and pushing the proximal end of the delivery system. And that's the moment where the preloaded technology springs into action for bridging stent position and deployment. First step is to remove the safety wire in one of the 4 pre-cannulated catheters, flush the line with heparin and advance an O18 non-hydrophilic guide wire into its channel. It is very important that our guide wire here is non-hydrophilic to avoid excessive friction during the advancement, and guide movement inside pre-cannulated catheter can be controlled on the fluoroscopy. After that, using an access from above, a snare should reach the cranial edge of our graft and catch the preloaded wire, establishing a femoral brachial or femoral axillary through and through. On this through and through then, a long introducer sheet is pushed from above until it exits from the graft, passing across the proper inner branch. At this point, with the introducer sheet in a favorable position, it is possible to perform a parallel puncture of its hemostatic valve and advance a diagnostic catheter, maintaining through and through to cannulate the target visceral vessel. Once cannulation is achieved, we can switch guide wire with a more supporting one and complete bridging stent positioning and deployment. Here we have our bridging stent advancement, and once proximal and distal sealing zones are deemed adequate, the cover stent can be deployed. All these steps are then repeated for each visceral vessel, making the cannulation phase every time really quick and easy. So we have again advancement of the O18 non-hydrophilic guide wire, establishing the through and through from the upper axis, and advancing again the long introducer sheet inside the endograft and through the proper inner branch. So superior mesenteric artery, right renal artery, left renal artery, and celiac trunk are connected with the main body of the graft. After completed target vessel vascularization, the handle is switched to neutral mode so the tip can be retracted, and finally the delivery system removed from the femoral axis after switching again the handle in park mode. Distal segments can be then added where needed.